Welcome to anybody who's in the chat. We are now on our fourth episode, so we've been doing this for a whole month. It actually does not feel like a month. That's gone by really
Oh,
fast.
I
Um, um, and so basically last time, we had some decent amount of things happen as you went through this dungeon. You were in Hommlet talking with lots of people, getting to know a few more things. You talked to Jeru the Druid, who asked you about doing a job next week. You spoke with the sort of head cleric of the church, got some healing potions from him. Spoke with a few other people as well. You bought some extra stuff. After your last sort of escapade through the moat house, you were able to get quite a bit more cash, so you're not quite as hard up as you were when you first came to town. And after that, you came back to the moat house to go check out the lower dungeon. You had originally put up a bunch of like benches and chairs and stuff to block the entrance down there, and when you came back, they were almost all moved or shattered to pieces. And so you sort of had an idea that there's a lot of movement going on through here. You went down, you met a big ogre who you severely messed up before they kind of like surrendered and started talking to you, and tried making a deal with you. Which you agreed to, and you said you're going to go basically get them some meat, and I believe they're going to let you through if you give them meat, if that was the deal, or am I wrong? I can't remember the exact... The terms and conditions elude me. But yeah, and after that, you went through, you slaughtered some bugbears, dealt with a little weird grate trap, and then I think... Is there anything else that I'm missing? Because, I mean, other than the ending here... That's
Yeah, so we killed the bugbears, didn't we?
yeah.
I've got my notes and they're in the wrong order. There we are. That's the problem. I'm looking at the week before.
Yeah.
I say, where is it? This doesn't make sense. No. So yeah, we met Lubash the ogre.
Yes.
Went through another secret door. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I don't. I mean,
That's right. We did do the portcullis after the. Yeah, I'm getting my order of events muddled up.
oh, and we
My
also
friend,
lost your first hireling, who got his head chopped
yes,
off by one of the bugbears.
Gregory died.
Rip Gregory.
Mm.
We hardly knew ye. Literally. And yes, I mean, I think a lot of the time yesterday was spent a little bit in Hommlet as well, dealing with people. So I think
Yeah.
you were pretty good about just sort of expediting your way through the dungeon so far. But yeah, the last time you were there, you saw some what appears to be gnolls to you in an area, and you sort of backed off, and you heard them basically go on by you. You did hear them stop at one point, and when you went back down south and sort of like rummaged through their whole area, we kind of ended off with 6 of them coming back down. And that's where we will start off here. Your group is facing them on the other side of the hallway. They're kind of snarling and snapping a little bit. They're sort of looking at you, kind of sizing you up. Not quite circling you. You guys are kind of like in a good choke point here at the end of this hallway. They're on the other side of the hallway. And they're sort of just like you said, you can sort of see like their eyes and their gross fur. Their smell has kind of hit you now. Very disgusting. It smells a lot like the room that you're already in, so it's just a bit too much of a nice, horrible bouquet. What do you want to do, Martin? What's your initial kind of thing here? They're also all, I believe, like clutching spears in their hands and different sword weapons. Sorry, no, they have battle axes and what look like longbows.
So Griff will hand up, put up his right hand and say, all right, good afternoon."
They sort of still kind of like snarl at you a little bit. They sort of yip at the air. Do you are you saying that in like sort of the common tongue, or are you saying that in
He's going to try that in common to start with.
Okay, yeah. They don't respond too well to that. They don't like get closer or attack or anything like that, but they sort of like I said, snarl towards you.
And does Griff speak Knoll? I don't know if his diplomatic grace will give him that. I'm just having a look. You speak all the languages common to your region of the world, it says.
Yep. So yeah, if you speak it, you speak it. Yep. And basically, for anybody who wants to know this for future stuff, this will sort of be kind of almost a great catch-all. It's a great foci. And if it does seem strong, foci are you only get so many, so they're meant to be really almost like demi-human powers. Yeah, you can basically speak like goblin, orc, gnoll, bugbear, and basically a bunch of the general kind of languages that you're gonna deal with. Obviously, maybe very, very old ones you won't know, but these sort of general ones that you're used to, you will. So yes, you do speak gnoll.
So he'll repeat the same in Noel. Good afternoon.
And they sort of their ears kind of perk up, and one steps forward in front of the other ones, and he just sort of says, "You speak our language."
Yeah. Boss sent me. There's been a bit of a problem.
Boss sent you. What?
Yeah, the new master.
What does master want?
Well, it's like this. There was a bit of an issue. Um, you know that lot in just up northeast in the nicer quarters.
And they all sort of like snarl, and like in response to you sort of mention them. Not you in general, but just sort of like at the
Yeah.
mention of them, they you hear like you see like their hair kind of raise up, and sort of like they start like snapping their jaws. And the leader kind of like calms them down a little bit, sort of with his hand. He's just like, yes, oh, we know them.
Well, been a bit of a problem. They were sent out to get stuff, and they got stuff, and then they were selling stuff and keeping the money. And the
Hmm.
new master found out.
Hmm. That's that seems normal for them.
Yeah,
They have no
yeah.
loyalty, not like us.
No, absolutely. So anyway, cut a long story short, the master or new master, he sent us up there to get rid of them, and he was sent us here to tell you that you can move up there now.
Really? We
Yeah,
we get
check it out.
he kind of looks back at them, and they all are sort of looking like kind of surprised. Master has never given us anything. Why now?
Well, as I said, I mean, they're a bunch of thieves. I mean, it's all right being a bunch of thieves if you're loyal thieves, and if you're prepared to give your master your takings, but they were taking a bit too much.
Hmm. All right. So give me I think it's pretty good. Give me a convince with we'll add a +1 to that because the story is
Oh,
pretty convincing. But there's something that seems a little bit off about this sudden act of generosity.
come on.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Yeah, they all let out like together let out this big sort of howl, and you see like they all kind of relax, their battle axes kind of go down a bit, because they've all been sort of raised towards you, and they let out this howl and they snicker like, yes, a master finally sees our value. Soon we'll be his guards, not like those filthy humans. And like one turns out he's like, no offense, but finally. We get the beds. No more of these skins on the ground.
Yeah, precisely. There's a one thing you've got to do, and a little bit of a favour if you don't mind. So there's obviously we've left a mess there, so part of the deal is you've got to clear the mess up there. There's a few bodies you can, I don't know, eat them, take them to the service, whatever throw darts at them, whatever you fancy, not a problem. There is a human there, and I would be very grateful if you could bring him up to the surface for us. Just
Hmm.
leave him in the courtyard.
Okay.
Don't eat
We
him.
we can do that.
Yeah.
Fine. We shall do that right away. Is there anything else from New Master? Anything else he wants us to do?
He did send word that he's going to be a bit busy for the next couple of days, so probably best not bother him. He's got some business. I don't know wherever he goes.
Hmm.
Where does he go? He's not told me.
So they the leader says you don't know where the master usually is, and he kind of like cocks his head.
No,
Um,
I know where he normally is. He's and he just sort of points vaguely off. He's down
yeah.
there, but the I don't know where he's going.
Mm.
He's off on trip somewhere, but he didn't tell me where he goes.
Master doesn't tell us anything.
Doesn't
Master
tell
usually
me
just
anything
stays in
either.
his chamber down over there. Um,
Yeah.
and he points towards this over here, Martin, this door.
Okay.
He says, he says, but we will make sure to do Master proud. We will bring back lots of gold and treasure.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he wants you to do. But remember, if you keep it, then, or too much of it, you're going to end up meeting us again.
Hmm. Uh, of course, no. We are honorable, unlike those filthy others. Come,
Yeah,
come, boys. We must go clear out the rooms.
perfect.
And you see them sort of trudge away. One thing that you remember is that you did trigger the gate again by opening
Yeah,
this door. So they might have a good deal with that, but that's I'm just letting you know. I'm just reminding you that you know that. Not that that's like, oh no, that's gonna stop things. Just that you're aware of that.
um, cool. So I think we are confused. So we've got, I guess we're going to have a quick look around this room. I mean, they've just gone, so
Yeah, that was a really good roll, by the way. Rolling a 14 on that,
yeah.
I cannot believe you actually were able to get away with that. And yeah, they've trudged off. You hear their footsteps sort of leave. You've searched through this room and area. I believe you checked those doors before, if I'm not mistaken. Um,
Yeah,
there wasn't really much of value here. I think you might have found one thing maybe, but I know for sure that there's nothing really else that was worth
yeah.
finding.
No, that's cool. So the decision we've got is: do we wander back to the surface? Or do we go? Do we go south? I think it would be rude not to take a quick look. Yeah, I think we should. So yeah, we'll head over to the door.
Okay, sounds good. I'm not gonna move all the guys with you all the time. I'm assuming they're
Oh,
all
that'll
near
be
you. The
yeah,
general vibe I've been getting is that Elmo's usually near you. Bari's somewhere further in the middle because he's
yeah,
ranged. And you usually want Alan kind of in the back, but also middle. So the rest,
yeah.
Eidos and Alan and Devon are kind of like the front sort of area. I'll just sort of have a mix of goons so you guys are together. But yeah, so you have the door open there. And you're welcome to sort of start walking through and start searching a little bit. If you want to
Cool.
go through that door.
So we are proceeding cautiously, but not stealthily.
Yeah,
And I
sounds
apparently
good.
can't drag a character in a straight line. Come on.
I believe
There
Devin
we
is the
go.
one carrying a torch, so his weapon is away. Or actually, yeah, actually no, his shield's away. So he has the torch out for the group. Yeah, and so the first thing you see here, I'm just clicking a character. You can see that the hallway keeps going down south. You see that it also snakes off to the right there, and there's also a other little area down to the left. So you have three ways you can go here.
Is there anything interesting? So, are there any tracks on the ground down one way more than the other, or any wind, any bad smell?
Yeah, want to give me a notice check.
Yeah, not such a good roll. 6.
Nothing really stands out to you in particular. I will say that you do see around this area a decent amount of foot traffic. It looks like human foot traffic, like boots and stuff. But it's been maybe from the giraffe that's down here, or maybe just from general like being muddied up. It's kind of hard to see really what
Yeah.
direction those boots have been going towards.
So I think we'll head further southwards a bit.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, and just you feel free to keep moving your character down. I'll tell you if you need to stop.
Yeah, and we are gonna.
And so yeah, and so that goes off to the left, and sort of you see it sort of end and then snake off again, sort of doing that same sort of zigzag thing. The architect here does love his zigzags, as you know.
Yes.
Um, and it also keeps going down further south.
There appears to be green on the floor. I don't know if that's just texture on this map or whether that's significant, but
I mean, if you get closer, like you are there, you can see
yeah.
that that looks like moisture, like algae and sort of moss, that you can see sort of creeping around the corner there
Okay,
on
so
the
we're going to
floor and
proceed a
walls.
little bit more cautiously.
Yeah, and you feel free
Maybe
to
just peek.
yeah,
Yeah,
you feel free to just peek right in there.
just peek right in the corner and make sure there's nothing there. Ooh,
Yeah,
ooh.
so what you see here is a square room. It looks like it has a big circular pool in the middle of it. This looks like actually I will say that like you can tell there's water in there. It's quite a deep hole. It looks like a natural sort of pool that's been built around. Um, And so your guess would be there's probably some sort of underground stream leading to it, because it looks like the water is pretty clear. Like it's not like super dirty. You know, like how like underground water is usually decently clean from all the natural filtering, but it does still have like some dust and silt and dirt from
Yep.
being a part of this dungeon now. But yeah, so you can sort of see that from where you are. Um,
So we're gonna just say to the rest of the troops, all right, lads, we got a bit of a pool here. Not quite sure what's in there or what's around the corner, but we're gonna take this easy. Um, you keep alert. He's gonna move just a
okay.
little bit further
Are
in
you
to see
going
the
in by
rest of the room.
yourself, or are you bringing the guys with you, or are you just gonna leave them at the edge there?
Everybody's behind, sort of literally straight behind.
Cool. I'll just move. Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah. So no, that works for me.
I'm gonna call
And
this one the pool room. There we go.
yeah, the pool room. That's exactly what it is.
Hot tub.
Um,
So
so you in the room. What do you want to do? Are you sort of checking around the area, or are you just like you looking down at the pool, seeing if there's anything of value down there?
yeah, so just where he's standing at the entrance to the room, he's gonna just, look at the four corners of the room, gonna look at the ceiling, and assuming there's nothing of interest there, he's gonna sort of stare at the pool for a bit just to see if there's any movement
So
in the pool.
yeah, give me a notice check.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you got 8. That's not bad. So what you notice two things that sort of pop out at you. On the far left side, like on the opposite side from you of
Hmm.
the room, you see what looks like the torchlight from, I'll say, Devin is just on the edge there. His torch is like sort of glinting enough in here for you to see. You can see what looks like a smattering of coins. Just on the left side, just sort of like in the dirt and debris and moss. Um,
Yeah.
and the other thing you notice that probably stands out to you a lot more is down below, just like not all the way down, but like on like the ledge here in the north. You
Hmm.
see on on a little bit of rock, you see a gorgeous, well, looks like maybe platinum or silver pin set with a ruby, and what also looks like it has maybe like a bit of hmm maybe some, it's hard to tell because it's small, but it looks like it has some themes of like bones on it. Like it looks like it might have like a few like of like the little pin. It looks like maybe one of like the pieces looks like it's shaped in the way of a bone. And we'll just say your expert eye can tell that this thing has to be worth at least 1,000 silver pieces.
Mm. Griff turns around and says, well, I don't know what's going on here. We got coins in the corner, and something there looks. Well, some years I haven't earned even half of that. Um, yeah. I look, and we got these knolls and whatever the hell the other things were up north, and I don't believe they haven't cleared this out. There must be something dangerous in this pool. Um, so look out, lads. And Griff is going to take his bow and
Mm-hmm.
he's going to fire a normal arrow into the pool.
Okay, sounds good. Bari sort of joins up next to you when he gets ready with a bow, just in case. Elmo, as usual, seems to take sort of initiative and has his axe out ready in case anything happens. And you fire off your bow straight to the water. And for a second, like nothing happens. But you do see that the arrow kind of like hits the water and starts to drift, and you see a big claw come out and snap it. And then sort of all the water kind of just sort of gets moved around and laps with waves start hitting, as what looks like a giant crayfish starts to emerge out of the water. It looked like it was perfectly hidden. The color of its carapace was perfect with the stone. And as it snaps out, you see its big sort of antenna-like eyes sort of swing towards you, and it starts climbing its way out of the pool. So we'll go into initiative here as I will. Uh, there he is. All the most I had was a hermit crab token, so that's but imagine a big crayfish. Um,
Yeah.
and so he will roll his
3.
initiative. Oh boy.
Ooh,
Okay, so
6.
he's going first. Um, How many attacks? So he has 2 attacks.
Hmm.
Okay. Let's see here. So, he starts to move his way out of the pool, and towards you. You are the closest, and like his big claws are snap, snap, snap. As you hear them sort of click, and he comes and swings at you, with a snap. Let's see. Did I make him? I did. Perfect. So he's got his pincer. So the first pincer goes in, does not hit, I'm assuming, with a 7.
Nope.
And your AC is 16 now, correct?
Yeah, AC 16.
Okay. What was that on? That was like in a weird... Okay, 19 I'm assuming hits.
Ooh,
For 7 damage.
7 points of damage.
Yeah, so
Ouch.
you you see like one misses and goes over your head, but it feels like it was maybe a bit of like a feint as the other one comes around and just claws right onto your hip and just grips you,
Yeah.
and you feel hot blood coming off of you and onto like your clothes and onto the claw. All right, it is your turn. It starts to like drag you into the pool with it.
Ooh,
What do you want to do, Martin?
he's gonna show. Oh, come on, get it! It's coming.
Yeah.
And he's gonna swing his axe.
Sounds good.
Oh, I'll have you. I'll be getting the lemons out in a minute. Oh,
Ooh, nice hit. Oh.
oh,
Okay, and your how much? What's its AC? Its AC is 15. Okay, so it does 1 anyway because that's all you did.
yeah.
Okay. So that sort of bounces off his shell a little bit. Does a little crack, but not much. Okay. We'll have the other ones go now. Elmo's gonna come in with a big swing with his war axe.
Come on, Elmo.
Oh,
Oh
no. Bari will fire into him with his bow. Oh boy, everybody's just sort of bouncing off this really hard shell. I'll say they back off a little bit, and Devin and Eric go in with their spears. Okay. Okay, that's 2 hits from those two. Doing a total of so 2 shock beats the 1, so that's 2. So doing a total of 8 damage between the 2 of them.
nice.
And they are able to also back off. That creature did not like those big hits. Those really hurt, but it is still going pretty strong. And then Eidos and Alan will join in with their spears as well to try and help out. And I believe that will also hit. My God, lots of... It's 6s or 1s tonight, apparently.
Yeah.
And Alan will go.
Come on, Alan.
Oh, God, like I said.
Oh.
So I believe Eidos will also do 2 damage to it. Let's see here. Yeah, 2 damage. And its AC is too big for that. So it's down to that much health. It is still pretty good. It did take a lot of damage. But it is yeah. it's it's gonna go again now. Who hit it? Was it Devin? It was Devin.
Yeah.
So Devin gave him a good hit. So he's gonna try and snap out Devin with 1 claw. He's gonna try and squeeze harder on you with his other claw. Oh wait, no, not you. So first pincer on Devin. Oh my God. Okay, Devin might be dead. Yeah. So Devin just gets snipped right in half. And you see like part of his body falls into the pool, the top part of his torso, as his legs kind of fall into the ground, spilling out a bunch of blood on the floor. Devin is now dead. His torch kind of goes out a bit as it hits, and then sort of reignites this. It only sparks for a second. And then the pincer tries to get you, or just digs deeper into you, trying to get past your armor. Does 14?
Oh.
14 does not beat your armor, right?
14's not a hit.
Okay, sounds good.
Ooh.
So it is on you. It still has kept its grip, and now it's actually pulled you back into the water with it. You are still at sort of the top, like you're able to sort of be on the rocks, but next turn it is dragging you down below the water.
Come on, you get it. and he's gonna swing his axe again. Really, really hoping to hit this thing. Come on. Oh, 19.
Oh, nice, good hit. Oh my god, the
Oh,
ones.
one
Why?
damage
Why the
again.
ones? It's so many ones for damage.
Jeez.
Okay, so another death by 1,000 paper cuts continues as you
Yeah.
just pinch off another little bit. Um, you start to see your blood mixing with the water as Elmo kind of jumps down next to the rocks and comes down with a big swing of his war axe, trying to chop at its head.
Come on, Elmo.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
And of
Oh.
course, it rolls a 1 on that. But he does do 5 shock damage, so he will do 5 base, not 3, on its AC. So it is looking real hurt. Part of its like left antenna is kind of just hanging off by a thread after that big axe went into it. And then Bari is going to fire into like that exposed meat area. Fails.
Another one.
Yeah, as and does he? No, he does not do anything with. There's no shock on those range weapons. I'm going to say that it looks like Eric is not quite sure what to do. He sort of runs around on the pool, but does not really know how to enter. But you see Alan without hesitation just jump over from the water or from the ledge down onto him, spear trying to go straight into him. He screams as he does this, trying to get a hit. Though he kind of just bounces off the top of the shell and just splashes into the water. He's now in the water with him, and you just see him come up sputtering. Eidos, a little bit more reserved, does not do the same thing, but he kind of jumps down, finding some good footing on the rocks, like Elmo did, and tries to get a spear stab into him. Okay.
Oh, yes.
That does a good hit there. So it does another 2 damage. This thing is not looking too good. Okay. I am going to just do a check. Okay, 1 second. There we go. Okay. So he fails his morale check. And so like as everything's just sort of slamming into him, he lets go of you and starts just basically descending deeper into the water, trying to get out of your reach. He hits the bottom pretty close, but it doesn't look like he really has anywhere to go. He's kind of just cornered in the bottom. You are able to, Alan sort of grabs you and tries to help you out, while Eidos helps you. Eidos and Elmo help both of you out of the water. It's sort of out of reach necessarily, unless you guys will jump in the water and try and stab into him. But it looks like it's trying to sort of basically corner itself away from you guys as much as possible. It's suffered major damage. What do you want to do, Martin?
Oh, thanks, guys. Do you reckon we can shoot that with arrows, Barry? Elmo?
Bari says, I know with the water, I think it's the arrows are gonna hit the water and basically lose all power.
Yeah.
By that distance.
How far down is it from where we are?
It's probably about, I would say, you could judge maybe about 15 feet down. Like it really drops down below. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone fancy a quick go at it with a spear? I mean, I'm not telling you to do it, but if you fancy a go, there's a bonus in it for you.
Alan says, "I'll do it."
You
And
be careful, Alan.
and Elmo says, oh, just be careful, Alan. And you see Alan kind of like strip off a lot of his stuff and then just jump in with his spear and start swimming down. You do see it looking like it's going to try and snipe out at him, but we'll just give him an attack. Alan misses. Is there anything you want to do in this moment, Martin, at all to help him out, or are you going to just see what happens next?
Yeah, Griff's gonna go. Oh God, bloody kid! And swing down with his axe and try and
get down there. Yeah, you're gonna try and so the way I see this is that you're just trying to basically get to the crayfish before it attacks Alan back for coming down there. It's literally a cornered animal at this point, so it's just going to attack out no matter what at this point. Yeah, so if you want to just give me your attack roll as you sort of jump in the water as it's sort of rearing up to get a claw around Alan. Oh my god.
Oh, decent hit.
Yes.
Some damage.
There we go. Awesome. Yeah. So you strike it, and I'm going to say that is going to be enough to sort of finally put it down. As your axe comes down, and then Alan sort of like, with the opening that you've created, as it sort of goes into shock as you hit it again, he just stabs down into an exposed area, and it just sort of stops moving. You got a nice big piece of, lobster here, basically.
Yeah. Good.
Lubash might enjoy that. Um,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
but yeah,
Oh,
you guys both raise back to the surface. Elmo and Eidos, and who's left? Is it Eric? Help you guys out of the water. Um, and yeah, you still have the treasure around if you want to start grabbing that, or if you want to sort of heal yourself up there because you took a pretty big hit from that
yeah.
crayfish.
Yeah, I think a bit of healing is necessary.
Yeah, sounds good. So I believe it's just if I remember correctly, I think it's just a heal check. It will do 1 system strain per heal attempt, but you can do multiple if I'm not mistaken.
I've never done this bit before, so...
Yeah, I'm just going to check it. So 48, or page 48. Let's see here. First aid. Spending a few minutes tending to an ally, a healer can cure 1d6 plus their heal skill and points of damage. They suffer a -1 on this roll if they have no heal skill, perhaps doing no good at all. Each such application of first aid adds 1 system strain to the target, but can be repeated for a wounded ally as often as the healer wishes. Okay. Yep. So, I don't even know. I can't remember if it's even like an actual roll. I think as in like a check. I think you might just do the heal if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
You're basically just taking a seed to heal is the thing. So
Yeah.
it's an extra roll on my part. But yeah. So do you? I think you can do it to yourself if I'm not mistaken. I remember Jack said Jack let Dan do it to himself in our last game. So I'll just say you can do it to yourself if your heal is decent.
So that's a 1d6, is it?
Yes.
-1. Yeah. I have no points in heal.
Yeah.
So that's 2 back.
Okay. And that's 1 system strain. You're welcome to do another round of healing if you want.
Yeah, I think we'll go for another one. I didn't. Sorry, just ignore that. That was me going mad
no
with the
worries.
dice. And we need to take one off this because I forgot to add it in on the roll. So another 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not getting lucky with the healing. Hey, no. Look at that. Ori gave you a free reroll there if you want to use that.
Oh, thank you, Ori.
So you can use that for a skill check or you can use that right now.
I think I better use it right now. Come on.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Look at that. Rolled a 6 instead of a 3.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ori. That came in handy.
So that's 4 more than I would have added. So that should make that. That's system shock. I'm going mad.
Yeah, your system strain should be at 2 now, and you should be back to full if I'm not mistaken, right? Because he did.
I am indeed. Yeah.
7 damage. Perfect. Okay. Thank you, Ori. Good job.
Yeah.
You survived. So while you've been sort of tending to yourself, and Alan's kind of been helping out with the bandages and that sort of thing, Elmo sort of just grabbed the 2 pieces of his compatriot and sort of just put them together in the corner. Doesn't really have anything to cover them in, so he just sort of leaves them there. You know, this is just how things go. You guys are in a dangerous place. Yep. You see him just do a similar thing where he just sort of is over the body as a little prayer, and then goes back to you guys once everybody's ready. What do you want to do now, Martin?
So Griff once again is going to say a few words and say, "Well, Devon, it was a good team player. Unfortunately, as with all brave people, sometimes your time is up. It was almost mine by the looks of it, but thanks, guys."
Yeah, they all sort of nod solemnly as you say this. But yeah, so you have some treasure around that we can go through.
Indeed. So Griff is going to start by looking in the corner.
Okay. So in the corner, so in the corner, you find a total of, I believe it is version's correct. We're just gonna say 40 silver pieces
Nice.
in different coins, but we'll just say 40 silver pieces to make it simple. So that's what you find in the corner there. And on the ledge, you find that platinum pin. Now the thing is, so this platinum pin, like I said, does sort of have has some interesting kind of like bone sort of motifs to it. And next to it, you notice now, underneath a skull, you see what also looks like maybe something like maybe was belonged to the same sort of, who knows, maybe blood rune mage or something, because you see what looks like a what's the word I'm looking for, a scroll tube with also more bone motifs over it. Like the topper for this holder is like a little like skull that's been carved out of wood. Yeah.
So Griff will grab the pin and just sort of shove the scroll tube in his backpack.
Sounds good. Perfect.
Hoping that Elmo doesn't see it. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't, but yeah.
I mean, magic's totally legal and everything else, so I'm sure it's totally fine. But yeah. Oh, you mean the pin? The
No, the tube. I don't know what's inside and whether it's worth much, but
oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I gotcha.
Elmo probably saw the pin like Griff did, but
yeah,
maybe
that one came out, but yeah. But no, but the tube might have its own things.
you said 1,000 silver pieces on the pin. Wow.
Yeah, it is a very nice pin. It's got like a ruby like set into it. So it's made of platinum. Some good shit.
Nice. So this is a tricky part of the adventure. So we're 2 down, so we've lost a couple of attacks. Nobody else is hurt, but I'm concerned.
But life is cheap. It's been a one-shot kill for both those guys.
Yeah. True.
And I would say from now, I'll say this just because I think I believe except for Bari, who actually might also be lower on that end. Let's see here. How much does he have? No, he's got a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm also both in the same camp. Outside of Elmo, basically everybody who's with you is on the same sort of level as that. They are not necessarily super skilled. They're all, as you can tell, competent, but they are definitely not super beefy people. And yeah, unlike Elmo, who I would say part of his HP probably maybe translates into good battle tactics, being able to sort of hold off certain attacks and that sort of thing. Everybody else is very easily killed in probably one good hit. So take that information as you will. I'm not saying you need to leave. I'm just saying that you all are aware of the mortality of the people around you.
Yeah. So Griff will say, look, we've had a couple of unfortunate events. I think we should just poke our heads around this corridor here and take it easy. Back off if we see anything bad, and when we know what's going on, we'll take Devon back, both parts of him, and we can collect Gregory, head back into town, and do the right thing.
Yeah, Elmo nods at that, and the others sort of just all kind of nod as well at that sort of declaration. I do love no player has ever died from the just one more room, and that's never no player that's never screwed anybody.
Never happened.
Very excited, yeah. So you can just make your way down this hallway that sort of snakes around.
So this is with some degree of attempted stealth. So the idea here is if he does see something, and there's like, I don't know, 8 or 9 of them, he's obviously just going to want to
Do you want to give me a sneak check then, if you're trying to actually be stealthy so they don't see you? Because so far I've seen that as you sort of just walking through and like not being loud, but not super perfect. That's a really good. That's a good sneak test. Yeah. So you are being pretty quiet. The group is probably maybe like 10 feet behind, like not far behind, but just enough where like you are able to sort of be a little bit sneakier with less boots training together. Just keep moving your way up in there, and
and this is what Griff does. He's quite sneaky, and there he is. He's just
So and you can keep going down that tunnel.
Come on. Ooh.
And if you want to peek into that room, you can, and I'll just grab it for you.
Yep, he will have a peek.
I will say, Griff seems to be a man, not necessarily of the world, but he's been around. He's robbed probably a few different people and places and stuff. So you can probably immediately tell from the motifs and probably also the bones on the floor, that this room is some sort of old burial crypt. Um, and do you want to give me a notice check? And you can move your character just a little bit forward if you want, so you can see into the room a little bit more.
Yeah.
There, that's probably good.
Yeah. A notice check. Come on. There we go.
Okay. Oh, nice. 8. Okay.
8.
So you go in the corner, and at first it's quiet, but you notice in the top left, you hear the smacking sounds, and you hear. You hear like the sounds of like smacking lips, and you see what look like 4 sort of gray humanoid creatures crouched over what look like a few bodies, and you see like one grab like the arm of like this person and just sort of like snap it and start sucking on the marrow. The other ones are sort of like ripping through its abdomen and just sort of like feasting on the organs, and they are just all sort of like basically bald kind of creatures, greenish gray, maybe a little bits of purple, and they're just sort of like digging into this this man buffet here in the top left corner.
Yeah. I'm guessing zombies, but yeah.
I mean, I wonder if there's is there any checks for deciphering what you might think something is? Let's see here.
Oh, right.
There's no. I think no should probably work for this.
That's not strength, is it? Let's put that.
I'd say it's either. I'd say intelligence or wisdom, whichever one's higher.
Yeah.
I think both work for that.
6.
So 6 is just enough of a pass. I'm gonna say you don't know for sure what these creatures are. What I will say is that you have probably had at least a dealing with a zombie before, and they tend to be a little bit less. I don't know. These things have a certain amount of vigor in the way they're feasting on this body. So, and I would say with zombies that you've dealt with, maybe a little bit slower, maybe a little bit more kind of just shambling. These guys, I don't know, they look almost fit the way they're just like like they got so yeah.
Well, so
it's a pretty horrifying scene.
Yeah, Griff's adding this up, and he's sort of thinking to himself, well, there's 4 of them and 2 less of us than there were, so time to back off.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So Griff's gonna do the finger signal with a circle, turn back around.
Yeah, and you sort of just back your way out through the hallway back the way you came.
Yeah, and we will. Again, we're not sneaking now. We're just being careful.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. So you said you went back for Eric's spot. Is it Eric? No, it's
Devon.
Devon. You went back for Devon's body.
That one. Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, so you grab his body, or both parts of it. Maybe you wrap it up in something that you can find, and you guys start making your way back up north. So are you just making your way back out the way you guys came in from?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you're going up, let's see if anything happens. Nope.
That's good.
You keep making your way up. You pass by the gate that came down before. It's now back up somehow. And you hear like cackling hyena like laughter coming from where the bugbears were. And you sort of just make your way out. You pass by. You do see the ogre. Is still sort of tending to his wounds in the corner. He hasn't noticed you. I'm assuming you're not like necessarily making your way noticed, but like if you want to check in on him, you can see that he's sort of like still wrapping up his arm in like hides and stuff. And you make your way back up to the top moat house.
Yes. Where hopefully we're not killed.
So make your way back up to the top.
A roll followed by a look in a book is never a good sign. What does a 1 mean?
So a 1. So you guys are all in room 7 there, together. And you make your way sort of out of that. You do see that the body of I believe it was Gregory is in the courtyard there, like you asked to be left. And yeah, so you can grab that body and you guys start making your way out. I should get rid of Devin and Gregory from this screen because they're both dead.
Yeah, you know what, Elmo? Do you reckon we could just tidy up a bit and get rid of that lizard? Do you think? I
Um,
reckon.
yeah, I mean we can go for it if you want, boss.
It's just one lizard, isn't it? I don't know what those, I don't know, four super zombies were, but didn't fancy those. But I reckon we could take a lizard.
Um, yeah, sounds good. So I will say, you are in that part, like right where you are now. Before you keep
Yep.
moving forward, you hear the clomping of horses, coming up
Ah.
towards the moat house. What do you want to do? What's your immediate thought?
Hmm. What rides horses? So, uh,
You do know
so
that there are like windows, not windows, but like little slits and stuff in like the building, so there are places to
yeah,
look out. But anyway, I'll let you decide what you want to do. I don't want to give you too much information, make you just do one thing.
yeah. So I think what we're gonna do, we know that we've got two sets of stairs here.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, hmm, interesting. I think what we're gonna do is actually hang around. Oh, I've just moved Eric.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly they're going to come in the moat house. So they're going to come across the drawbridge. They're going to come through the courtyard, um, and presumably down the normal stairs. So, in fact, sod it. We're just going to hide in the kitchen.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so you don't need like it's fine if you're
Yeah,
oh, in that thing. I guess I'll leave that by there. It's funny that the giant tick is still
yeah.
just in the corner. Um, but yeah, so you guys go in there, and you do hear the horses get closer and stop in the courtyard, and you hear people dismount and start walking up the steps through the stone. Do you have like the door cracked open at all? It's sort of see through down the hall to.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Do you want to give me a sneak check?
It's a shame we didn't kill the lizard before because that
Yeah.
would have been a good room to hide in.
Yeah, and I'll give you a
Had a
plus
window
one to
in it.
that as well. Um,
Oh, five.
it's fine. Yeah, I mean you got six because I was actually before you even realized I was gonna give you a plus one because you're behind a door. Like it's not exactly easy to see you. No, that's fine. It's not too hard to pass this. They're not looking for you. But what you do see is what looks like about 10 humanoids, all in different varying bits of armor. Some pretty good, some a
Hmm.
bit lower. And you also see with them what looks like a bit more of like a sniveling kind of man. He doesn't look necessarily like, I guess, human anymore. It looks like he has sort of like a red garb around him. His face looks almost like a bit like a melted candle. Um, and he's just sort of saying like, "Lareth must know. Lareth must know the new orders. We'll be moving in soon. We must tell him. We must." And you hear the guard being like, "I heard you for the 10th time. I get it. We'll tell Lareth. Relax. We will move in when we're ready." And they're sort of walking through, and the other people are with them, kind of marching behind them. This whole sort of group will be there in about like 3 minutes. Can you just shut up for 2 seconds? And the guy just starts still babbling, and they sort of go around and go down the stairs. And you hear them, the footsteps go away after a while.
So very carefully, Griff is going to creep out of the door,
Mm-hmm.
and very carefully have a look outside the doors leading to the courtyard.
Yeah,
Um,
so you see what look like about 6 horses, and you also see what looks like a younger guy, probably around maybe in his early 20s.
yeah.
He's got sort of kind of maggoty, kind of longish hair. His face is all sort of covered in dirt, and he looks like he's just sort of tending to the horses. You see him just sort of muttering to himself, kind of angrily, as he's sort of like fixing the bridle on one of the horses. His head's turned away from you. You do see the body of Greg just off in the corner, just like near like the tower. Um,
Yep.
and they're sort of more like in the middle, and there's just the one guy sort of grabbing the reins of the horses to looks like he's just like tying them up to like a post nearby or like pieces of wood.
So Griff is going to ask Elmo and Barry to stand either side of the door
Mm-hmm.
leading to the courtyard, with bow drawn ready.
Mm-hmm.
and Griff is going to walk out and try and greet this chap and find out who the hell he is.
Yep, sounds good. So you walk out. Do you open up with the line, or are you waiting for him to react? Like, are you saying anything to get his attention, or are you just gonna walk out and see what happens next? What's your plan?
He's going to walk out and he's going to try and use his well met thing.
Mm-hmm.
And good afternoon.
Yeah. He turns to you like with a big sort of jump, and you see him just have like pull out like a quick little dagger, and he says, who are you?"
Calm down there, calm down there. I'm one of the new keepers here that the new master has asked to keep an eye on the place. And who are you, might I ask?
He says, "My name's Silas. I haven't seen
Silas.
you around before,
Yeah, well, as I say, we're new here. That's why you haven't seen me before.
and
Makes sense.
Lareth hired you.
Yeah, Lareth hired us.
Okay, well, what do you want with me? I'm busy."
Well, I can see that, but it's part of my job here. He's insisted that we check everybody coming in and going out. We've just come on shift, and I've just noticed you and some horses in the courtyard. We'll deal with the horses and whoever the hell else came in a minute. But who are you?
Um,
Why are you here?
well, he says, we came from the temple, sir. We have
Right.
I don't really know what's going on, but apparently there's supposed to be some sort of I don't know some sort of job that's coming up soon. I think something to do with Hommlet. Um, Apparently
Right.
Lareth has plans to deal with Hommlet finally, and bring it underneath the wing. Apparently, the true master in the temple needs more people, more sacrifices.
Interesting. Well, I'm sure that we can oblige them. Um, um, I'm not entirely sure that saddlebag there is secure. Someone's going to have an accident. What sort of what are you playing at? Look, on that horse, that
Well,
saddlebag.
uh, what do you mean, sir? I'm just
Take a look at it.
and he goes over and looks at it, and sort of like
And
starts checking it. What what do you want to do, Martin?
so Griff is going to signal to the others to come out, and he's going to try a sneaky surprise attack with an axe.
Yeah, just try it. Are you trying to kill him, or are you trying to
Yeah.
clunk? Okay, sounds good. I like it. Yeah, so he's totally like, what? And he sort of turns towards the saddlebag to check it. That's sort of like on its side just a little bit. And he starts fiddling with it. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, and you give me your surprise attack.
There's going to be another one, isn't it?
Watch it, yeah.
Hmm.
um, I mean, this guy is not super healthy, but yeah. So he turns and you sort of just clunk, but you kind of miss, and your axe goes into like his shoulder blade, and he just screams out. And you want Bari and Elmo to fire off their arrows into him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, so Elmo fires off his bow. um. Yeah, and I'll just do Bari's as well, just for good measure.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that one, we'll just say both arrows kind of just pierce into him, and like as he screams out, the arrow from Elmo kind of just goes into his throat and cuts that scream short, and he just sort of falls over down dead.
Yep. So Griff will say to the others, quick, we got some horses here. You grab Devon and Gregory and let's be off. And before we actually leave the horses, Griff is going to just loot the guy, see what he's got on his body.
Yep, sounds good. This guy looks like he's pretty lower rank. He doesn't seem to know much or have
Yeah.
much. So I'm gonna say he has like 3 silver on him.
Cool. Any? Probably not. Any documents?
On
Any
him,
scrolls saying I am from? No.
no, I will say, I mean, like, when you have probably more time, unless you want to stop and do this here, I mean, there are a bunch of, like, different
no.
gear on these horses that you're stealing, so there might be a chance to look through that once you're in a safe distance. Yeah.
So I think we're going to mount the horses and head on back.
I do love that you rolled a 1 for the damage and just like
I know.
just sort of half tortured the guy if the other two did fire into him. Where he is just I don't know why it was like really funny about that imagery of him turning and you just stabbing him in the back. Well, he was just like but yeah, so you grab a horse each. How many of you are left? There's one, two, three,
6.
four, five, six. Okay, yeah. So you guys all grab a horse, grab the bodies, and just make off as quick as you can. You can tell that it looks like Elmo has actually no, I'll say Eidos kind of has Elmo's reins because it's obvious that sorry, Alan's reins because it's obvious that
Yeah.
Alan cannot ride his horse, so Eidos is kind of helping him. Bari, Eric, and Elmo all can ride horses along with you, and you guys all sort of set off and get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
And start traveling for an hour back towards Hommlet. Yeah, and nothing happens on the way back, and you make your way in back
Excellent.
to town.
So, what sort of time of day is it?
So you were in there for quite a bit because every scene's about 10 to 15 minutes. So there's quite a few scenes going through. We're gonna say by the time you get back, we'll say it is, I believe, evening. I'd say like
Evening.
the
That
sun's
sounds
still
fair.
up, but it is starting to set and it is starting to get darker as you make it back to
Cool.
Hommlet.
So, I've just made a note of minus hiling fees, so we're gonna have to pay people again. So I guess we've got some stuff to do here. I don't know how much you want to
Yeah,
play this, but we've got 2 dead bodies to
no,
deal
totally,
with.
absolutely. Um, So Elmo says that they were followers of Saint Cuthbert. He says so he can bring the bodies over. He'll bring the body firstly to like to the corner, not the corner, but like the what's the word I'm looking for, the I forget the word for the coffin maker. So get the
Yeah,
coffins and all that sort of stuff done. He's also gonna bring it over towards bring the bodies up to the family basically for them to do what they need to do with the bodies and that sort of thing, and figure out all that sort of stuff. So Elmo's gonna go off with those. If you want to go with him, you can, but he says like
yeah,
the funeral probably won't be until tomorrow or so. So he says like if you want to come, you can, but like
yeah.
I realize you've only known these guys for like 2 days, so
I know. Well, look, I suppose we better do the decent thing here, and he counts out what would be a generous amount of silver.
a generous amount of silver. I would say probably 50 silver would probably
Yeah,
be a good amount. Like if you were to give that per family, if that's what you wanted to do,
yeah,
like as like a thing, that's almost like a week's pay to an extent, which I know sounds kind of small, but like already 10 silver a day is a lot of money for people. So 50 silver as like a bit
yeah,
of a thing is like a
yeah.
good amount.
So he's gonna count this out, and well, I'm really sorry. Um, marvelous companion. Fought really well against the demons and the evils of Hommlet. He's gonna waffle on when he's in front of these relatives.
Yeah, no, that's great. They all nod and a lot of them are crying, but they thank you for both the money and the kind words and all that. I mean, this seems highly unusual in the sense that like probably most people do not give the time of day to the hirelings
Mm.
who die, on these sorts of adventures. So this sort of, I guess, strange custom that you're doing is probably very endearing to a lot of them. Someone give you hugs. From what you gather, it doesn't feel like anybody like you might have been at first tense that some people might blame you, but it seems that the people of Homeland understand like no, people go and do these jobs and they die, and that is kind of the life of people who do this sort of thing. Um, and yeah, so you get sort of that as the bodies are sort of dropped off, put into proper sort of caskets and getting ready to be properly put for ritual tomorrow for their funerals.
Well, thank you for your help with that, Elmo. I guess we should check out these horses, and Griff's gonna start to, I don't know, just see what's in the saddlebags,
Yeah,
whether there's any sort of orders, plans, maps.
sounds good. Are you going like anywhere? Like, are you trying to make sure that you're like away from other people? Are you doing this like in like just outside the tavern? Like, are you like when you're searching these different bags and stuff? Is that like are you nearby anybody's? I guess what I'm asking.
I guess. Um, so I guess what would happen? We come back into town, we go and see the relatives. The horses are going to be useful for that anyway because we've got to cart dead bodies around, so we
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be sort of arms and legs. Well, that's going to be difficult with Devon, but yeah, so we're going to probably deliver them on horseback.
Hmm.
And which one is the trader's outpost?
I actually, gonna be honest with you, I can't remember exactly which one it is.
Fair enough.
I keep forgetting to you have to remind me before next time to actually put down the numbered one because I
Yeah,
have the numbered one somewhere, but I
sure.
can't. But yeah, it's one of these in the middle here, I believe.
Yeah. Sounds good. So, I guess what we're going to do is head off the main path. We're going
Mhm.
to maybe head onto a field or something, or
Yep.
there's a nice little park by the river here that looks quite sort of quiet, but not completely out of the way. So probably just head over there
Yeah. No.
and
Totally. Yep.
yeah, strip the horses down of all the tackle and bags and stuff, and check it out.
Sounds good. So one thing that you do notice about these horses, which is nice, is that they, I mean, they are actually decent horses.
Yep.
They're not war horses or anything like that. They're just normal, like just normal horses for normal riding horses. But they seem to be kept in decent condition. So these are actually pretty good horses to keep for yourself. Actually, if you want to go off, you could sell them if you want to get
Yep.
that sort of thing. But they seem to be decent. And so you grab stuff off. What you find for a lot of it are rations and that sort of thing. And so far, rations haven't really mattered that much because you've been sort of just coming back to town
Yeah.
immediately and getting food that way. But there's a bunch of different rations. In terms of things of interest that you find, actually, firstly, what we'll do between all the different ones, you also find 91 silver pieces between all the different saddle bags, that sort of thing. Um, but one thing that you notice that's really interesting, there's nothing of real, like, specific stuff on this temple or anything like that, but what you do notice is a ledger with different dates and things crossed off. Do you want to give me a knowledge roll?
Yes. Let me just get Griff's character sheet back up.
And because you were a past bandit, I'm gonna say give me a +1 on this roll
Yeah.
on top of the no roll.
Oh, that's a good.
That's a good one.
Yeah, 12.
And don't forget one thing I remember. Don't forget that you do have that skill reroll you can do per scene. I keep forgetting to remind you of that because I keep forgetting it myself. That's a
Yep.
really good one. But yeah, so you're going through this and you are kind of reminded of what maybe a past gang leader had that you were with, or maybe something you had yourself if you're one of the more intelligent ones keeping this. This seems to be a ledger of a lot of different schedules, as well as locations on where to hit certain caravans. Um, as you're seeing this, though it doesn't like though if you sort of cross this with any knowledge you've been sort of gathering, because so far we haven't really been going into it because I don't like repeating it too much,
Yep.
but so far with Seinfeld's asking you to keep track of stuff, it's been kind of understood that like in the downtime that we're not really here, you're kind of gathering
Yep.
information here and there on stuff you can find, little like small things like that, and also reporting back. So crossing that data together, it just doesn't cover every caravan hit, but it does seem to cover quite a few where this isn't just random bandit attacks that are hitting and doing whatever. It seems like there's somebody feeding information. It doesn't have any names on who exactly, but from what you can tell, there's definitely at least two different informants in the village of Hommlet. There's several in Nulb, and there's probably some outside of the region, probably in maybe like the city you came from, possibly like letting them know that there's what caravans are going out this way and that sort of thing. So it does seem like this this isn't like a perfect well-oiled machine, but it is a lot more organized than the attacks would have you think.
Yep. Interesting. So we've got the rations, the silver pieces, and the ledger.
Hmm. And there's
Yeah.
other
Okay.
bits and bobs you find of like
Yeah.
clothes and other things, but most of it's just traveling gear that's not like of real importance. Yeah.
So one other question about the horses first. Is there anything particularly distinctive about them? Like, is there some? I'm not a very horsey person, by the way. Is there some like massive kind of white star on the side of the fur that clearly anybody's going to say that's my horse?
Yeah,
Or are
you
they
look, you
just
look you look through them, and honestly, no, it looks like each of them have been branded a few times, guessing that they've probably been stolen by a few different people and probably rebranded, to the point where it looks like some of the brands have been trying to cover up, and in the process, kind of just making illegible brands in them. So, overall, it seems like these horses didn't belong to these guys in the first place, probably.
Yeah.
So there is, I guess, the recognizable fact that these are sort of lots of brands, but like, there's not gonna be one guy that you can tell be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
those are my horses from like my stable. Like, give those back," sort
Yeah.
of thing. It seems like
No, that's
it's
good.
pretty okay to keep for yourself.
Cool. Um, so Griff's gonna say to Elmo, um, Elmo, who in this village do you trust? I mean, not just trust, but really trust.
Well, he says, I mean, well, there's my father, who's the captain of the militia and the guard. When because he sort of mentioned that like there's what's his face? Is it Rufus? Uh,
Yeah.
he says Rufus is kind of in charge of that sort of thing, but in terms of like on the council, when things get bad and like the town has to come together, not just guardsmen but like militiamen. He says his father is in charge of that sort of thing, or at least helping with that. So obviously he trusts his father and his family. He says he trusts Jeru, um, and he also trusts Rufus and Byrne. He says he'd like to trust the bartender, because it's a bartender, and it's one of those things where there's almost a level where he's like, you kind of want to trust the guy who's giving you drinks all night. Seems to be a good guy. But I've known lots of people in this town, all my life, so I trust a lot of them. But at the same time, we're kind of a town that sort of keeps themselves, as you know, and almost like on cue across the river, one of like the window shutters just gets closed. As he says that,
Yeah.
um, he says, um, overall, I mean, there's been some weird happenings a lot of times with outside adventurers, potentially getting murdered or starting fights. There's a few new people who have settled in town over the years, who've never really, I guess, I've never had an issue with them, I guess, myself, but they've incorporated themselves as best they can, but they'll never be, true
Yeah.
true people of Hommlet. Um,
Anybody you don't trust, anyone who's a bit shifty, not quite, maybe done
hmm.
you over before, or you've heard of somebody doing them over, or just don't seem right. Anyone like that? Who wouldn't you trust? Definitely wouldn't trust.
It's hard to say, but I will say the two of the merchants over at the trading post, Ranos and Greymag. Uh, I mean, they've never done anything necessarily to, uh, piss me off too much. I mean, a few bad
Right.
deals here and there, asking a little bit too much. When somebody's, asking a little bit more than need to. Um, I don't know. I've never really liked those two. I guess. I mean, but that's not really, I guess, evidence for anything. I just have
Well,
never
fair
liked them.
enough. I didn't
Um,
like them either. They charged me far too much for something, but anyway.
they charge you and more than they charge me.
Yeah. Buggers, eh? Um,
Um, let's see
well,
here.
thanks, Elmo.
He also says, trying to think here. He also says, no, never mind. That's doesn't say much else actually. He does mention that the tailor, Tarvin, who's sort of a small and skinny man, um, isn't from town. And Elmo himself says he doesn't really like to, discriminate people who aren't from town, but he does say that there's a lot of people who are new, and the weird things that have been happening have started happening in the last while. So, there's certain things that people will correlate together. Um,
Okay. Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
but that's
And what
about
about
all he can think about.
Turgeon?
Uh,
Turgeon's all right, is he?
who's Turgeon again? Is that that's the
Is
chief cleric?
he? Yeah.
Yeah, he says, yeah, Turgeon is he's, I mean, from my gathering, he's always been a good man. He's always been trying to do his best. I think the
Yeah.
fact that he tries to work well with Jeru, um, despite them having different religions, has helped the town grow with the two different religions without having too much trouble. As I'm sure you've come to know in your own experience, that's a very rare thing to have. Two religions
Yeah.
actually work together. I mean, not to say we don't have our differences, and they go, they have their different sides, and every once in a while there's a fight here and there. But overall, it's pretty good, and it's best because Turgeon and Jeru try their best to get along, and make sure people get along.
Okay. Well, thank you for your help, Elmo. I'll make sure the appropriate amount is deposited in the appropriate location.
Of course, yeah. No, thank you so much, and thank you so much for your respectful treatment of my two friends. It's
Not
more
at
than a
all.
lot of others have done.
Well, I mean, if you, I know it might be a bit soon, but if there's any chance you could, if you think there's anyone else that might be interested in helping, I mean, I wouldn't say take the place of Devon or Gregory because no, I'm sure nobody ever could. But if there's
It's
someone
okay,
else that
Griff.
could
I
maybe,
I know what you're saying. Don't worry. I
yeah,
can find more guys for you. You don't have to. He's sort of
yeah,
because I
thank you.
imagine like Griff is sort of rambling through the whole thing. I imagine he's just sort of like he's like no, don't worry. Though he does ask, is there? Do you want people the same sort of caliber? Are you looking to spend more money? Um, there's a few
How
different
much
people
more?
and foreign adventures
Yeah,
coming through. So others might take their own percentage like me. Others might ask for more per day. But with that, they might come with their own armor, better skills, that sort of thing, he says. So I can ask around for you if you want.
yeah, if you can. I mean, better armor and better skills. It's less likely to die, and that's it's about keeping people safe, Elmo.
hmm So in terms of like mechanics of that, Marn,
Yeah,
and I don't know if we'll do this today, but we can come back to it maybe like
yeah.
before next session or whatever else. Do you want other adventurers who will take a like 5% off that they will be better and they will have more health and everything else? It's gonna be
I
the thing where
think,
they start taking shares of the original of the whole gold.
yeah, I
Um,
think so.
Though some might want
We're
more. I mean, everybody's different personalities. Some might demand a lot more than what Elmo's asking. But we can figure that
I
out.
don't know. We seem to be raking it in at the minute, so
Yeah, you're not doing too bad in cash. I mean, you might want to
yeah,
reinvest in some overhead for to keep people alive. But yeah,
yeah,
um, no, sounds good.
cool. Sounds good.
Um,
Let's say ask around.
yeah. So you do all that with the horses. Talk to Elmo. What else do you want to do, Martin?
So we've got 6 horses, and I guess one thing he'll do before Elmo disappears is probably take 3 horses each back to the beckoning bench,
hmm
and yeah, hopefully they can arrange for stables. Is there stables at the beckoning bench?
I believe there's actually like a stables in town, if I'm not mistaken, that can take on your horses. Um, I'm not sure on the exact price for every night. Let's see here, but that shouldn't be a problem for you to have your horses stabled in town while you're here. So yeah, you can do that. You can just sort of like hook them up to like probably just outside the beckoning bench. That's no problem at all, and we'll figure out the price afterwards, Martin, for what it is per night.
I know that. So the next thing that Griff wants to do is choices. So there's 2 people. He's going to head back over to Rufus, I think.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so you head back there before it gets too dark, and you go towards the tower. You see the guards. They have you wait for a bit while he gets ready, and then you go up there into his office, and he says, "What can I do for you at this hour?"
Well, it looks like I got something of interest. I'm not quite sure what it means, and I'm sorry to have to ask you this, but can I trust you?
Uh,
Elmo says I can trust you, but I just want to hear you say it.
yeah, you can trust me.
Okay, right. Well, we were at the moat house and we're about to come back. Heard a lot of commotion, hid in a room, and some I don't know really weird fellows came in. And we heard the back end of some weird altercation, what almost was. And have you heard of somebody called Lareth?
Lareth. Um,
Lareth.
no, I don't believe I have. Who is this Lareth?
No idea. Anyway, but they were saying Lareth must know the new orders, and they were talking about making a move on Hommlet soon.
Really?
Plans to deal with Hommlet was what he said. Yeah.
How many were there?
Well, there were 6 horses, so there must have been six, I guess. Funny
Hmm.
how you don't remember some things and you remember others, but yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that's around the. So you saw around 6 or 10 or so, like around that. Like you saw a group of guys. He says, "Well, do you know how many men this Lareth has?"
I
on
don't
top?
rightly know who he is yet. I mean, I assume that he's something to do with somebody in the moat house, but I don't know. I don't know who. We haven't cleared the place out yet, not
Okay.
completely.
And you don't have any more specific numbers
I
on what we're dealing with here at all?
No, but I did find this ledger, and he pulls the ledger out of his backpack. It looks like your bandit attacks are not so uncoordinated after all. I mean, I've got some expertise in, well, let's say the diplomatic arena with bandits, and yeah, this looks like somebody's actually waging a campaign here against the village. Now look at this.
And yeah, and he grabs a ledger and goes through. And at first, he's kind of just like flipping through, and he starts seeing different dates and names and everything. And he just starts going like, you see his eyes kind of widen, and he shuts it. And he says, "Oh my gosh, this is quite more serious than I previously thought. This is a lot more
Yeah.
organized. Do you have any other information on this? I need to get the militia rounded up."
I don't think so. I mean, we may have come across something that's significant, but if we did, I don't know what it is.
He goes over towards like a cabinet in the room and opens it up, and takes out a sort of fat sack and he gives it to you. He says, "Here, this is for hiring costs. I'm going to be rounding up the militia and getting the guards together to defend the town. I can't send people out of the town. I need to.
Right.
Hommlet is my main thing to defend. I'm also going to get the captain of the militia to help me out with this. Um, are you able to go back to the moat house and potentially neutralize whatever problem is over there?
Absolutely. I mean, that's when I came here, it's what I said I was going to do. So that's what I'm going to do.
Because you've obviously proven yourself more resourceful than I first gave you credit for. And well, do you mind if I keep this ledger? I need to talk with the village elder about this.
That's fine. But there's one thing that I would point out to you. I mean, if you haven't spotted it already, I know you're a very clever man and all the rest of it. But it does appear that there might be some informants in Hommlet. I mean, I understand there might be some in Nolb as well, but from what Giroux says, that wouldn't be particularly unexpected.
You're
But
right.
you're in Omelette. I mean,
But,
any idea who they could be?
no, I have no idea. But have you told anybody else about this?
Not specifically. I mean, Elmo was with me, and he's got some idea of what's going on, but I don't. I haven't shown him the ledger. No.
But it's just Elmo who knows. Because we can't have witch trials happening here. I need you to keep a tight
Hmm.
lid on this because
I
I'm
see
going to
what
see
you
if I can
mean.
do my own investigation. If I find anything, I'll speak with you about it. But I rather
Right.
not, you know, cause panic. Bandits on the outside is one thing that we can deal with. We have siege equipment and we have lots of weapons
Hmm.
and able-bodied men and women who can defend the town. But if we start having potential paranoia and panic going throughout the town, we will collapse.
Yeah. No, I see what you mean. Well, you want to be careful because, as I'm sure you know, even with the best defenses, if you've got insiders, you've got a problem.
Exactly. No, you're completely correct. So I need to find out who that might be. And one thing you should know, in case you're not, obviously, I'm assuming you're not well versed with the local customs, but if the town does come under
No.
attack, everybody goes to either this tower or to the walled manor of the village elder for safety. And you've seen the walled
Right.
manor of the village elder
Okay.
in the middle of town.
Cool. Well, which one's that one?
I believe I'm assuming
Sorry.
it's no, it's fine. I believe it's this one here. This is the
Okay.
big one.
Yeah.
I believe because it's like a much bigger building than the rest of them, and so it has like an actual like stone foundation.
Yeah.
Everything else is kind of like wood and thatch and stuff. This one's like an actual
Yeah.
like real actual manor house. It almost I wouldn't say it doesn't fit, but it's definitely
The
you
place. Yeah.
immediately notice it as soon as you come into town that it is different than the rest of the buildings.
Right. Was he going to give us a sack? He got a sack out of a safe.
Yes, that was with the 250 silver.
200. I missed that bit. Okay, that's cool.
Did I say 200 or
Excellent.
250? I can't remember which one I said.
I don't. I don't
That's
remember
fine.
hearing. I didn't write anything down at all, to be honest.
We'll
But
say
yeah,
two. We'll say 250. That'll be the
250.
that'll be the number. That's a nice number. That
Cool.
one, as you know, won't count to XP because it's not brought back from a different
Yeah,
place, but it is an extra amount of silver. Um, since he can't
sounds good.
afford to give you men, he does say that you can keep Eidos since he's already
Yeah.
been seems to enjoy working with you and that sort of thing, and he's our sort of part of your group a little bit, but
Yeah,
can't spare other men for that sort of thing.
sounds good. Hmm. So I think the other thing that we need to do is go and see Jeru.
Okay. Yeah, so you can leave this place and go see Jeru.
Oh,
Um,
sorry.
oh,
Um, Brain fart. So the other thing I was going to do is probably wait another 25 minutes and try and see Burn.
oh yeah, you're gonna try to see Burn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Here, I'm just gonna roll to see if he's gonna see you. Actually. Okay. Yep. Burn will see you. It's gonna be about another half hour or so. And finally, you get up there, and he opens the door and says, it's you again. What can I do for you?"
Well, um, I'm trying to do the villager service here, and I've just had a nice long chat with Rufus. You might want to catch up with him because it looks like there's trouble afoot.
Hmm. I will be sure to talk with him. But you're in front of me now, and what do you want with me?
Yeah, well, I found this, and he pulls out the scroll tube.
Mm-hmm.
I don't rightly know much about these things, but I was wondering if you could take a look for me.
Absolutely. And he grabs it and he pulls out and he sort of brings you into his room. And you sort of are now in this pretty nice little room. It looks a lot bigger in here than it seems on the outside. The tower seems smaller, but this room seems to be almost bigger than what the tower could actually hold.
Yeah.
And you kind of go through a little bit and he just tells you to sit down. And he pulls out 3 different scrolls. He says, these are spell scrolls. Lower
Ooh,
level, but can be used even probably by the likes of you if you were so
really?
inclined. Perhaps. Not everybody can
Okay.
do it. But he does read them out. He says it will be. Let's see, what's a good amount for a scroll? I think it'll probably be per level. So he's gonna be. Yeah, we'll just. Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be 300 silver total to get these translated or for
Yeah.
you because they're lower level.
Cool.
Do you want
Oh,
to
but
pay that or are you
yeah, I think so.
okay?
But he's going to try and burn. Look, I've just got some money from Rufus to sort of help defend the village, to get some you know adventurers, some hirelings on board. Go and defeat whatever it is in the moat house. You can't take more than that off me, surely, for these scrolls. I mean, I know that what you do is very skilled, but
Hmm.
maybe a little discount. It is in the service of the village, after all.
He sort of mutters and kind of just thinks it over a little bit. Says, I don't know.
I mean, as a respected village elder, I'm sure, you want to be doing right by the village.
Yeah, give me a convince check.
I bet this one goes badly wrong.
Oh my
No,
god. Okay, good.
doesn't.
He says, fine, fine, just please stop talking. Um, I will do it for 200.
Oh, okay then. That's very generous of you. Very generous of you.
Yes, I know. I'm a generous, warm man, and it's going to be the death of me one of these days. Um, so, I'll read these out for you. You
Thank you.
have a scroll of stinking cloud,
Hmm.
a scroll of fly, and a scroll of magic missile.
Oh, well, they sound quite useful.
Yes, if you can use them, that is.
Hmm.
He sort of rolls them back up, puts them back into the tube, and hands it over to you.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Bern. And I'm glad to know that scroll tube wasn't trapped as well. You can never tell with these things.
He says, "Yes, do not worry. It's a perfectly mundane item." He's sort of, and as you said, this you kind of notice all the different things in his room, all of the elaborate rugs and the nice sort of tapestries and crazy like alembics and that sort of thing, and probably all the books everywhere.
Hmm. Cool. Well, I better be on my way then.
Yes, you do that. And if you have any more stuff, I will take it from you and translate it for
Thank
you
you.
and all that. Though I don't know if I'll be giving you any more discounts. I'm going
I
to be put in the
understand.
poorhouse if I do that too much. He says as
He
you
looks.
notice like the six
Yeah.
gold rings on his finger. He's got like a rapper's like golden grill on his teeth. You
Yeah.
notice for the first time now that he says that. Uh,
Yeah.
but
Uh,
yeah.
I'd, I'd love to see Burn do a rap at some point. That would be
Yeah, oh
hilarious.
god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Cool.
That's how he spellcasts. It just does
Yeah.
really cringy 90s like anti-drug PSA raps. That's how he gets his power.
Yeah. Bonus points for anybody in the chat that can come up with a burn rap.
I feel like
Cool.
with a name like Burn, it has to be like flame related or something.
Does.
Something about roasting his enemies or some shit.
Excellent. Um, so gonna head on over to Nera and cash in, I guess.
Okay, sounds good.
So what did we get? So since last time, he says looking through the accounts, we didn't actually get too much. We got the silver necklace from the guys. What were they? The first ones we killed
Um,
downstairs.
the bugbears.
Bugbears. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Not sure we ever found out what they were, so that's good to
Yeah,
know.
I'm going off of like the languages you know that will be
Yeah.
usually I try just for the classic OSR thing of like not saying too much what things are by
Yeah.
name, but weirdly because you know how to speak their languages for the most part,
That
you
makes
kind of just
sense.
know,
Yeah.
It's kind of like being like, these guys are German, but I don't want to say they're German because then you'll know
I
they're
can speak
German. It's
German.
like, but I can
Yeah.
speak German, so I know what they are. It's like, but do you?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Bugbear speaking creatures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes perfect
Yeah.
sense.
Bugbear speaking creatures that are not bugbears, but bear like humanoids or hairy
Yeah.
humanoids. But yeah, so you grab some stuff off of them. So all silver coins that will just convert
Yeah.
perfectly into XP, which we'll do all the XP stuff like off stream, but
Yeah.
we can do all the stuff you sell now if you want though, and we'll just
Yeah.
decide that stuff afterwards.
So we had the silver necklace, which I think you said was worth 300 silver pieces.
Mhm.
And so there's not too much at all. We had the platinum pin.
So were those the only two things you found that were jewelry or
Yeah,
like things to sell?
I
Okay.
think so.
So that's 1,300, and she takes 10% off of that.
Yeah. Which leaves us with.
So that's 130. I don't know why I typed that. I knew that. It's like such an even number. So yeah, so that's 1,170.
Yeah, looks good.
So you get that much back. She takes off 130, and then
Elmo tax. Yeah.
he takes off. We'll just round up to 60 silver pieces.
Yep. That
So
seems good.
you take 1,100, and yeah,
Yeah.
1,110. Sorry.
Yeah.
So that's what you
So
get.
with all that done, I said we were going to go and see Giroux, so I think we should see Giroux.
Yeah, and that'll probably be the last thing you can do for the night before everybody's sort of done wrapping up shop. But Drew's just out in his grove, and he is just smoking a pipe near a fire. It kind of just looks like he's just sort of chilling out on the bench. And he looks over and says, "Ah, it's you again. Come sit by the fire. What can I do for you?"
Well, Elmo said I can trust you, so I'll trust you. You seem like a nice kind of guy. I've been sworn to secrecy, but being a man of your standing, I think I should let you know and also get a second opinion, if I'm being completely honest. I found a journal in the moat house. There were some visitors come to visit a guy called and he racks his brain. Lareth it was. They came to see Lareth. Who's presumably there, I don't know. Or maybe it was a message for Lareth for someone there to pass on, not quite sure. Yeah, but it looks like all these bandit attacks, there's some coordinated effort. And one of the messages that they were talking about there to give to this Lareth was that there were new orders and it was plans to deal with Hommlet.
That
I
doesn't
just
sound
thought I'd
good at
better
all.
let you know. No,
No,
Rufus
that's
told me not to tell anybody for fear of spreading panic and chaos, but
it's okay. I was probably going to find out anyway. Both me and where
yeah.
I'm on the council anyway, so I was probably going to find out soon anyway. So
Well, don't if you can act a bit surprised and kind of make it like you don't know, that'll be good. But I just, with these things, some people have got agendas, even if they're nice
Hmm.
people and that sort of thing. So I just wanted to let somebody else know just in case it all blew up.
Yeah, and yeah, he says no, that's not a problem at all. And he kind of like you see him sort of get lost in thought for a second, and sort of just takes a big drag of his pipe, and he goes, Lareth, that name rings a bell though. Um,
All right.
hmm.
Well, Rufus didn't know him. I didn't ask Bern, but
I'm not surprised Rufus didn't know him. I
right.
can't remember exactly. But the name, He's sort of racking his brains, kind of just staring into the fire, sort of absentmindedly for about like 10, 15 minutes, is just sort of everything, and then he sort of snaps his fingers. He's like, I remember now. He was some
Right.
kind of disgraced cleric. He was
Oh.
apparently quite the charmer. He got away with some stuff for a long time before some things came out. I can't remember the exact details, but um, I do think whatever order he was with, he either betrayed or started his own sort of heretical sect of it. Um, and I just remember that he was, big. Ladies were a big fan of him. I remember, I think something about like very like long hair, good looking guy. Apparently, you could
Right.
pick him out of a people. You could pick him out of like a room of 1,000. He stands out.
That's interesting because we met an ogre, someone you probably don't know the ogres, but somebody called Lubash.
Lubash, my
Lubash,
old
I
friend.
think.
No, he does not know the ogre. He is that name does not ring a bell at all. But he does say like the yeah.
Yeah, he mentions a beautiful man. Does that sound like him?
I mean, I'm sure that's how. I've never laid eyes on Lareth myself, but I'm sure that is
Right,
a
right.
potential moniker for him. I wouldn't be surprised.
Uh,
Um,
uh, So it looks like Lareth is hiding out in a moat house then. He's employing ogres and gnolls and things that speak bugbear that could be bugbears.
hmm.
Hmm.
That tracks with whatever he's been up to in the last while. I do know that jeez, I can't remember now. I think it was some kind of spider god he fell prey to. I think he
Spider
joined some
God.
sort of something you could tell that he's sort of putting together fragments of a very long lost memory. Um, I can't remember exactly, but yes, that sounds about right, especially with the things you're saying. I mean that moat house is still brimming with evil. It was sort of
Hmm.
an outpost for that temple up north for a very long time as a way to
Oh,
do raids and gather slaves and victims and that sort of thing. So
it's funny you should mention that. We I'm not quite sure how to explain. We had a run-in with one of the party. They were left outside to guard some horses, and we didn't think it fair that they should keep the horses. You understand, being as they were against Hommlet and all the rest of it. But he did say that he was from the temple.
hmm, that's that. I knew my hunch was right. They were saying that the temple, ever since it's sealed, nothing was going to come back from it. That was sealed perfectly. This is exactly why I need my acolytes here as soon as possible. When they get here next week, um,
Yeah.
we're going to. I'm going to need your help with some things. But yes, that's. I had a feeling with everything going on. I just knew that temple. There's something going on there. Um, um,
Hmm.
and you can see he starts getting up. And he's like pacing back and forth now. It looks like the sort of the pipe has kind of gone out from lack of like any sort of smoking of it as he's just sort of going back and forth, going just rubbing his chin, being like, well, yes, we need to deal with this as soon as possible. I need to talk to the council. This is this is much bigger than I think people realize.
Yeah. Yeah. You should get your pipe filled up again and have another think. See if you can remember anything else. I'll pop back at some point soon.
Yeah, and he sort of almost is like not really. He's only like half listening to you. He's like, yes, yes. Have a good night. As he's still sort of going back and forth near his fire.
Cool.
Sounds good.
So, in that case, I can't think of anything else that we need to do in the village. So I think we need to go back to the moat house.
Yeah, sounds good. So you're going to stay the night here, at the beckoning
Yeah,
bench.
yeah. We should do another. Yeah. So everywhere's closed now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's heavily nighttime at this point where everything's closed. Things will be open up again in the morning. If
Yeah.
you want to do anything,
So I think we'll go back to the bench then in that case, and
sounds good.
Griff will have another conversation with Osler. Ah, Osler, my good man.
He says, how's it going? Pint?
Yes, please. One of those big pints. That's
Yeah.
definitely what I want.
And like
Yeah.
before your sentence even finished, there's already like a big sort of frothing pint right in front of you. He says, "How you been? I've heard that you made quite some progress in that old moat house there. You're starting to get a few other people
Yeah.
stirred up around here to
Yeah,
get off their
absolutely.
lazy
I mean,
asses and do some, I guess, what should we call it, spring cleaning of the
yeah. I
area."
mean, there's plenty going on there, that's for sure. Can you pick up an axe or a sword? Is that your kind of thing, or are you more of a pint puller these days?
I mean, I could definitely pick up an axe. I don't know how well I can swing it these days. Not with these knees.
No, I'm just kidding you. Just kidding you. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's yeah, you heard about Gregory and Devon. That was unfortunate, but
Yes, I did, but I also heard that they're gonna have quite a nice, beautiful funeral tomorrow at least though. So,
absolutely,
which
yeah,
is
yeah,
more
yeah.
than many men who go off and try and do this sort of work. Well, they don't come back at all. So, I think the families are very happy to at least have that.
Oh, that's good. Maybe people will stop looking at us a bit funny when I wander through the streets, but
Or they look at
yeah,
you
you never
funnier
know.
for such a rare specimen
Yeah,
you are, and he sort of just takes out like two shot glasses and pours up some liquor for you and him. And he just says to Gregory and Devon, and smacks
yeah. He
your
lifts
glass.
the glass. Gregory and Devon.
And he sort of smacks it back, and he says, "Yes. Anything else I can do for you? You want a meal or anything, or?"
Oh, yes, please, yes, please. I'll take a meal. No, 2 silver pieces, was it?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, he just grabs you a bowl, and he's just sort of going around cleaning glasses and stuff. I don't know if you want to say anything to him in particular while he's sort of it's kind of a relaxed night tonight. There's people in the bar for sure, but
Yeah.
people sort of tapered off. There's a few people just sort of in the corners. It's a bit more of a quiet day or quiet night rather.
Well, as I say, hopefully people will start treating us a bit better. Well, not that anyone's mistreating me, you understand, but you walk through the village and the shutters go, and it's almost as if the wind stops blowing in the field and the wheat stops doing that weird wheat sound when wind goes through it. Don't know what it's all about anyway. Yeah. So is I mean, what do you get many outsiders here that stay? People from further north that have decided to settle?
He says, yeah. I mean, you mean sell permanently, not just the points like some of the adventures that have sort of come through. He says,
Yeah,
not those
yeah.
types. I mean, yes,
Oh,
there's a few people who've decided to settle in town over the years. Um,
all right.
Says he mentions the tailor, um, that Elmo mentioned to you. Um, he also mentions a family of farmers. Actually, he mentions a few different families of farmers that have come
Yeah.
down here. Some have come from north. Some have come from out west. And it's one of those things where nobody's like bullying them or making their lives hell, but there's always that air of like you're not one of us. Like
Mm,
we'll tolerate you, and you're not like somebody like Sunny Fields who's trying to like buy their way in, or any sort of big faction trying to do anything. But you're not us, and don't ever think that you are. Sort of thing is more. And again, this guy, he seems a little bit more. I don't want to say that the bartender's hostile, but he seems a little bit more like, yeah, they're not one of us. More than Elmo was. Elmo seems a little bit more, laissez-faire about it.
yeah.
But he seems more like, no, like if you're from Hommlet, you're from Hommlet, and you stick together, and we can't really trust anybody who's not from Hommlet, kind of thing. Is at least the
Oh,
vibe you get from his tone when he mentions different
yeah.
families.
Okay. Well, good to know that. I don't know. You can stay here. I mean, I'm just thinking when I'm done with all this. Omelette seems like a nice place. So just trying to work out what the possibilities are.
Mm. It says, I mean, if you ever end up wanting to buy a place here, or whatever. You absolutely can. There's prices with. I know the Elder, I think, deals that sort of thing.
Okay.
And after things you've done, I'm sure it might be a little bit different with you. But again, it's one of those things. That's just a fact of life. Either you're from here or you're not, and there's not much you can do to change that.
I know. Is there any way of telling? Is like people that have been here forever got like an extra finger?
He laughs out at that. It says, no, nothing quite like that. It's just,
That's good. That's
you
good.
grow up around these people your entire life. You don't know many other people. Everybody here knows everybody, kind of thing. So we just kind of know who's from here and who's not.
Okay. So I guess Griff is probably just going to do some general carousing in the
Yep,
bar
sounds
and
good.
talk shit about nothing, basically. So yeah.
Nope, sounds
Um,
good to me. Yeah, and you guys, and mostly just sort of ending off the night of you just sort of drinking and chatting with different people and that sort of thing before heading off to bed.
if he hears somebody say, gonna go and see the temple again or something like that, he might
Yeah,
try and
yeah.
sit down and work out
Well,
what's
I
going
gotta
on.
go
But
kill some
yeah,
innocent people. I guess I'll catch you guys later as he leaves the
yep.
bar. Pulls out like ceremonial dagger. Yeah, no. Nobody like
That's
that
my thing.
appears. Yeah, it's like, that guy seems a little suspicious. I'm not sure about him.
Hmm.
Oh well. Different strokes as you go off to bed.
Yeah.
No, nothing quite like that. It seems like overall a pretty normal night.
Cool. Sounds good. So we will reconvene the next morning.
Okay, sounds good. And is there anything you want to do in town before you head off?
I'm very tempted to talk to the tailor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're welcome to
Hmm.
if you want.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's do that.
Yeah, so you go down towards the Tailor. You can recognize the building. It's a very small, sort of squat building. It has a sort of wooden picture of scissors outside of it. And you go in, and a little man in his 30s. He looks like he's probably about like maybe, like 5'6" or so. He looks like he has sort of a bit of like a receding sort of hairline. And he's just like, oh, hello, sir. What can I do for you?
Just very quickly, so before heading towards the tailor,
Yeah.
Griff is going to get one of his old cloaks and he's going to make a rip in the back of it.
Okay, sounds good. Yes, you just give it a tear.
There's something to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, sounds good. Yes, you come in. He's like, "Oh, hello, sir. What can I do for you?"
Oh, good morning, my man. I hope it's not too early for you.
No, not at all. I'm always up before the
That's
sun's out
good.
anyway. And do you have anything that needs mending?
Yeah, I do. This isn't mine, but well, I'll let you take a look at it first. Look, there's a bloody great tear in the back of it.
And yeah, he grabs it at your cloak and looks up. He's like, "Oh, this is no problem, sir. I can get this sewn up right away for you. You don't even have to go anywhere. I'll get this done right away."
Perfect. And how much would that cost?
And he says, "You know what? For a job like this, no charge, sir.
Oh,
Yeah, this is nothing. This is I don't need to charge for this sort of thing. You come back with me having to resole your shoes, then we'll talk money. But this is like 5 minutes of work, and he sort of just lays it down across the table, and starts sewing up the hole.
well, that's very generous of you. Thank you. Thank you. And I've got another. Um, someone's asked me to get some a sleeve widened on their shirt. They've been, I don't know, but that's what they've asked for.
Yeah, do you have the shirt, sir?
Not on me. It's I understand it's for someone you know. Like they told me to bring it in. I was told not to sort of speak loudly about it.
Um, I I I don't know what you're talking about, sir. Do you what's
Okay.
their name?
Well, someone was just passing through one of the towns to the northeast, if you know what I mean. That place on the river.
Oh,
Yeah. Lareth asked me if he said you'd do it for free or something.
I don't know any Lareth, sir.
Oh, maybe I'll.
Is
Yeah, yeah, no, you okay? No problem. Yeah, yeah, I
I mean
understand.
I
No, I don't either.
I mean I know a Laszlo. I don't know,
Laszlo.
but
Okay.
I don't know any Lareth. Is
Oh, it
that
must be. Do I get the impression he's lying?
um? Let's see here. Is there a? I don't know if there's a check to see that people are lying in worlds without number. Um,
No.
I can't remember if notice falls under that. I'm gonna say. Let's see here. I'll check the skills list.
Yeah. What's yeah?
Because some games have it, some games don't. I think it's one of the games where it's like it's not really a thing.
Yeah.
Knows matters of history. Oh wait, where's not notice? Um, yeah, notice cannot be used as a symbol to take live, but keen attention can often discern subject's emotional state. Yeah. Give me a notice check.
Cool.
Thought I said somewhere that was
Fine.
yeah. So the vibe you get from him is just confusion. You don't get any sort of feeling that he's being underhanded. You can't tell for sure, but he seems legitimately confused by this Lareth person. He's
Yeah.
just like, no, Laszlo, I don't know any Lareth. Are you sure? Yeah, I haven't had anybody who's asked for their sleeves widened
Or
recently.
maybe I've written the name down wrong or something. But anyway,
No
I
worries,
can
sir.
let him know how much is it anyway, and I'll bring it down when I'm here next.
For that sort of thing, probably just a couple silver. Just depends how much work. Depends the state of the shirt and all that sort of thing. And
Yeah, that's fair enough.
it's not very much.
Yeah, okay, so not a problem. Well, yeah, okay, no, now I know what it is. I'll let him know, and I'll bring it in next time I'm down. Thanks for that.
Absolutely, thank you so much. Yeah, and he says, "My name's Tarvin, by the way, sir. What's your name?"
Sorry, I missed that. It was a bit quick.
My name's Tarvin.
Tarvin the tailor.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, oh, interesting. I mean, if you were Cuthbert, would you be a cook? Cuthbert the cook? Funny how it goes, isn't it?
I know it's this is my father was a tailor, and his father was a tailor. It's sort of just a family business kind of thing.
Oh, was his name Tim? Tim the tailor?
Actually, no, that was my grandfather's name. Yeah,
I see. I'm good at this.
yeah.
Um, well, thank you very much, and you did a lovely job on the cloak there.
Absolutely. And if you need any shirts or any sort of clothes or any new
Yeah,
socks, anything like that, please come my way, and I'll make sure you got a comfortable fit next time you go out.
fantastic. Well, I'll bring this shirt alteration down with me next time I'm here. I'm sure 2 silver pieces will be fine, but I better check. Yeah.
Perfect.
Cheers, Tarvin.
Yeah, and he just sort of waves you out. And yeah. So what do you want to do now, Martin?
So we're going to cross Tarvin off the list of suspects. Either that or he's bloody convincing.
He's the most evil. He's a 10th level wizard.
Mm.
Um,
Cool. Um, so I guess we're not going to track down lots of farmers. That could be probably not very interesting. And the other people, hmm, that might need a bit of a setup. We might do that one later. Yeah.
yeah. Or we're gonna be closing off here soon anyway because we're hitting the 2 hour mark, so we'll be
Oh,
yeah.
Christ, that's
It's
shot
it's
past.
been flying by, right? Yeah, no, no. So don't
Well,
worry. We could if we do end up wanting to do any of that stuff, we can source that stuff up. No problem.
let's do a small one then. So Griff, I don't know. He felt his attempt with this shirt was a bit half-hearted and probably left him a little bit exposed.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, yeah. So let's say that he's going to try and find a piece of equipment that he's got that the traders might generally be interested in.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's he got in his inventory? We're gonna. Oh, in fact, the
I
scroll
mean,
case will be there.
yeah, you have scroll case. You have stuff off the
Yeah,
horses if you want to use any of those things. But the scroll case is perfect. Because you
yeah,
don't need the scroll case to hold on scrolls. Like you can put those in a
yeah,
different bag or anything like that if you want.
yeah. That's cool. So we're gonna grab the scroll case, or maybe the quiver that we recovered from the lizard room. I think we
Yes.
got
Yeah.
the quiver and the bolts. So,
Yep.
yeah. So he's gonna take that and he's gonna write a little note. And the note's gonna say, um, meeting urgent. And I've no idea what a calendar looks like in this place.
Yeah. Don't worry. We'll go off of
Um,
like whatever,
yeah,
however many days or hours you want to put into here. Yeah.
yeah. So whatever today is,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to say meet on this day, 8 p.m. Then it's going to have an L on the bottom in a very sort of calligraphy style, swirly,
Okay.
posh sort of looking thing.
So,
And that's
are you doing this to like the meeting? Like, is the meeting for tonight? Is it for like tomorrow night? Like, what's
so
the?
tonight at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So yeah. So we're gonna roll this thing up, roll this little note up, and just pop it in the bottom of
Okay.
uh the quiver. So yeah.
Sounds good. I like it. Yeah, and so which merchant are you bringing it over to? Um,
Oh.
because Ranos is the one you dealt with
Um.
last time. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know if you want to bring it to him. He's the one who sold you your armor and other stuff.
So Elmo said, I wrote this down, but I can't remember because I have a brain like a sieve. He doesn't trust Ranos, or was it Grey Mag?
Yeah, Grimag and Rhinos was the two
Grimag.
who was the two he
Yeah.
mentioned. Grimag is the more portly one that you haven't dealt with yet. I think he deals with the rations and a few other things. And Rowan was the first one you dealt with, who dealt with more like the livestock sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
there's Rhinos who you dealt with, Grimag who you haven't, and Rowan who you've also dealt with.
So as Ranos deals with weapons, we're gonna go and talk to Grey Mag
Mhm.
about the quiver with the arrows because that looks a bit more suspicious.
Okay, sounds
Or
good.
quarrel, or whatever it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, so he's there. He's already set up shop. Everything's ready. And he greets. He's like, "Oh, hello. What can I do for you, sir?"
You don't know me. I'd like to trade in this quarrel with some bolts in it.
Hmm. Okay.
I
Was
don't
there
know if
anything in
you'd like
particular about
to.
this? I can't remember which quarrel this was. Was there anything in particular that stood out about it? I can't remember. Was it the one that you
No, I
stole
think
in the box, right? That was like in the lizard room.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. We fed it the giant tick. It was distracted, and
Right.
we got yeah.
Yeah. He says, "Okay. Let me see here. Yeah. Sure. I can
I
give you. I don't know.
I mean, would you like to inspect it completely? It's a quality item, but I want you to be sure that it's a quality item so I can get the best price.
Yep. Absolutely. I can do that."
There's a
And
wink.
he sort of just goes around and puts it on the table and opens it up.
And he's going to look away and just look like he's browsing at some
Yeah,
other
just going
stuff.
through
So
the
that
going through the
there's
wares
yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff. Yeah, and there's stuff everywhere. Like there's almost like lots of covering because there's different like rugs and drapes and other things that people are selling here. So like it's not like you're out in the open air where you can see
yeah.
this easily. There's lots of like stands and their stuff. There's like food being fried up on like on a little cart next to you. And yeah, so he sort of goes through it, and you see him sort of stop when he finds some like crumpled paper. You hear the sound of crumpled paper being like uncrumpled as you're sort of looking through. Um, and he sort of you see him sort of looking it over and closing it up, and putting it into his pocket. And sort of just has the has the whole thing out. Sorry, the what's the word? The quarrel. He says, "Sir, yeah. So I've given it a proper look, and you see like he's sort of looking at you a little bit differently. His eyes are sort of like he's almost a little bit more narrowed as he stares at you. Um, he says, "I can give you uh 8 silver pieces for this."
No, would Griff know if 8 silver pieces is really good or terrible
Um, I'm gonna
or
say that
average?
it would probably be terrible. Not terrible, sorry. It would probably be a little bit lower
Yeah.
than what you'd expect. But he says 8 very specifically in the way he says it to you. Like he puts a lot of emphasis on
Yeah.
that word.
Yeah. Well, I'll hang on to it for now. I was in two minds anyway, to be honest, but just wanted to see how much you'd be prepared to pay for it. But eight's it, is it?
Yes, sir.
8. Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you for your time.
Not a problem. He sort of hands it back to you with all the stuff.
Yeah.
Gives you a curt nod.
Hmm. Suspicious. So Griff will walk out. Um, and when he's well outside of any kind of eye shot, well, the first thing he's going to do is have a look behind him and see if this guy or anyone else is following him.
No, this guy's not following him, but you do
Yeah.
notice, like, sort of. I imagine you do sort of stealthily as you look at something else. You
Yeah.
notice that he's still staring at you.
So he's going to just keep walking until he's out of view.
Yeah, sounds
Be
good.
very, very sure he's not being followed.
Yeah.
And then he's just going to take the bolts out of the quarrel and have a look in the bottom and see if the note's still there.
The note's now gone. He's you saw him sort of put it into his
Mm,
pocket.
yeah.
Yeah.
So interesting. No. So I think we've got one of our culprits.
Absolutely. Is there anything else you want to do immediately, Martin?
No, I think that's it. I think the next thing will be to go back to
I can meet up with
Maybe.
Elmo and see if he's found anybody for you and that sort
Yeah,
of thing.
I think so.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll end off there, guys. We'll end off with you sort of just leaving the marketplace with that sort of thing happening with the quarrel. And you start heading back towards the beckoning bench where Elmo has a few different people as well as Eidos and them. And you guys start to get ready to head out or deal with whoever you've hired new. And we will continue this next week, guys. And we'll see where things go as you go deeper again into the moat house and see what else lies beneath there for you. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This was a really fun session as always. It's starting to heat up a little bit. Thanks a lot, Martin. That was a lot of fun.
That was good. Great stuff.
No.
Well, thanks again, Rory, for the reroll.
Yes, thanks a lot, Ori. That was very, very helpful because
Yes.
I did not know if you were going to keep going deeper in. I was like, you're going to need that health.
I didn't know if we were going to meet something coming out. I had a nasty feeling we were going to run back into the knolls, and
Yeah.
No,
And I believe your system strain should be gone now that you rested overnight. I do
cool.
believe that should be gone.
Yeah.
And
Perfect.
yeah. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. We'll end off the stream here. And we will see you guys next week. Yeah, at least somebody rolled. It rolled well once you once you got the reroll. That was perfect. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.
Great stuff. Cheers, guys.